The story of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Birth and early life. Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was born around 570 CE in Mecca, a city in present-day Saudi Arabia. He was born into the Quraysh tribe, a prominent and influential clan in Mecca involved in the trade. His father, Abdullah, died before he was born, and his mother, Amina, passed away when he was only 6, leaving him an orphan. He was initially under the care of his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, a revered leader of the Quraysh tribe, and after his grandfather's death, his uncle, Abu Talib, raised him. Despite these early adversities, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, grew up known for his honesty, integrity, and kindness, earning him the nickname Al-Amin or the Trustworthy. Marriage to Khadija. When Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was 25 years old, he married Khadija, a wealthy widow who was 15 years his senior. She was a successful businesswoman and was impressed by Muhammad's, peace and blessings be upon him, character when he worked for her as a merchant. They had a loving and supportive marriage that lasted 25 years, and she bore him 4 daughters, Zainab, Ruqayya, Kulthum, and Fatima, and 2 sons, Qasim and Abdullah, who sadly died in infancy. Khadija was a source of immense comfort and support to Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and she was the first person to believe in his prophethood. The first revelation. At 40, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, began spending a lot of time in solitude, retreating to the cave of Hira on Mount Hira for prayer and contemplation. During one of these retreats, in 610 CE, he experienced a terrifying event when the angel Gabriel appeared and commanded him to recite. Gabriel revealed verses that are now part of the Quran. Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was greatly shaken by this experience and returned home to Khadija, who reassured him and became his first follower. Beginning of prophethood. Over the next 23 years, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, received further revelations, collectively known as the Quran. He was instructed to preach these revelations, proclaiming the oneness of God, Tawheed, urging moral and social reform, and warning of the Day of Judgment. He initially faced strong opposition and persecution from the Quraysh and other tribes who saw his teachings threatening their social and economic order. The Hijrah. By 622 CE, the persecution had become so severe that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, sent some followers to Abyssinia, present-day Ethiopia, for protection. Later in the same year, he and his followers migrated north to Yathrib, later renamed Medina, a journey known as the Hijrah, marking the beginning of the Islamic lunar calendar. The leaders of Medina accepted Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, as a political and spiritual leader, allowing him to establish a new community and state based on Islamic principles. Life in Medina. In Medina, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, created a constitution known as the Constitution of Medina, which ensured the rights of all residents, including Muslims, Jews, and other tribes. His role in Medina was far more than that of a spiritual leader. He was also a political leader, a lawmaker, a judge, and a military commander. Battles and expansion of Islam. After settling in Medina, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and his followers faced a series of military conflicts with the Quraysh tribe and their allies. The most significant of these were the battles of Badr, 624 CE, Uhud, 625 CE, and the Trench, 627 CE. The Muslims, although vastly outnumbered at the Battle of Badr, were victorious. However, during the Battle of Uhud, the Muslims faced severe losses due to a tactical mistake by some of their men. The Battle of the Trench, named for the defensive trench that the Muslims dug around Medina, resulted in a stalemate. Still, it was a strategic victory for the Muslims, as the Quraysh's allies began to doubt their ability to overcome the Muslims. The period following these conflicts saw the rapid expansion of Islam, with many Arab tribes and Jewish communities entering into treaties with the Muslims, accepting Islam, or agreeing to peaceful coexistence. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah. In 628 CE, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and his followers wished to perform the Umrah, lesser pilgrimage, and set out toward Mecca. However, the Quraysh stopped them at Hudaybiyah, resulting in negotiations and the signing of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Though the terms seemed unfavorable to the Muslims, the treaty brought about a much-needed period of peace, during which Islam expanded rapidly. The conquest of Mecca. The Quraysh eventually broke the treaty, and in 630 CE, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, led an army of 10,000 followers to Mecca. The city surrendered with little resistance. Remarkably, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, declared a general amnesty, forgiving the people who had persecuted him and his followers. He also destroyed the idols in the Kaaba, re-establishing it as a sacred center dedicated to worshipping one God. Final years and death. After the conquest of Mecca, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, focused on spreading and consolidating the teachings of Islam. He led the farewell pilgrimage to Mecca in 632 CE, during which he delivered his final sermon, encapsulating the key tenets of Islam, including equality, justice, and the sanctity of life and property. Shortly after returning to Medina, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, fell ill. After several days of illness, he died on June 8, 632 CE, at 63. His death marked the end of his prophethood but the beginning of the spread of Islam across the globe, with his teachings continuing to guide the lives of billions of people worldwide. The wives and kids of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, had several wives, who are known as the mothers of the believers. Here are the wives of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, along with a brief description of each. Khadija bint Khuwaylid, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the first wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and the first person to accept Islam. Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, bore the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, 6 children, 2 sons, Qasim and Abdullah, both died in infancy, and 4 daughters, Zainab, Ruqayya, Kulthum, and Fatima. Sauda bint Zama, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the second wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. There are no records of her having children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the third wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Hafsa bint Omar, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the fourth wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Hafsa, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Zainab bint Khuzaimah, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the fifth wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Zainab, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Salamah, Hind bint Abi Umayyah, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the sixth wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Salamah, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Zainab bint Yash, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the seventh wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Zainab, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Juwayriyah bint al-Harith, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the eighth wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Juwayriyah, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Habiba, Ramla bint Abi Sufyan, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the ninth wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Habiba, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Safiya bint Huyay, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the 10th wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Safiya, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Maymuna bint al-Harith, may Allah be pleased with her. She was the 11th wife of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Maymuna, may Allah be pleased with her, had no children with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Maria al-Qibtiyya, may Allah be pleased with her. She was gifted to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, by the ruler of Egypt. Maria, may Allah be pleased with her, bore the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, a son, Ibrahim, who passed away in infancy. These are the wives of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and among them, only Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, and Maria, may Allah be pleased with her, bore him children. All his children, except Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her, passed away during his lifetime. Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her, was the mother of Hassan, may Allah be pleased with him, and Hussein, may Allah be pleased with him, who are well-known figures in Islamic history and the ancestors of the prophets, peace and blessings be upon him, family line. The remarkable miracles of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, performed several miracles throughout his prophethood as signs of his truthfulness and to convey the message of Islam. Here are some of the remarkable miracles attributed to him. 1. The splitting of the moon. One of the most notable miracles of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was splitting the moon into two halves. The Quraysh had demanded to see a miracle to prove his prophethood. In response, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, pointed towards the moon, and it split into two halves, moving apart from each other. This event is also mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Qamar, 54:1-2. 2. The night journey and ascension, Isra and Miraj. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was taken on a miraculous night journey from the Masjid al-Haram in Mecca to Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem and through the heavens. During this journey, he met several prophets, witnessed unimaginable signs of God's greatness, and received the commandment for the 5 daily prayers. 3. The flow of water from his fingers. On multiple occasions, water flowed from the fingers of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to quench the thirst of his companions. This happened during the expedition of Hudaybiyah and also during the Battle of Tabuk. 4. The crying of the tree trunk. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to deliver sermons leaning on a tree trunk. When a pulpit was built for him and he started using it, the companions heard the tree trunk crying out of longing for the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, then comforted it with his touch. 5. The speaking of the wolf. A wolf spoke to a shepherd and told him that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was the messenger of Allah, reprimanding him for not following the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. 6. The prophetic predictions. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, made several predictions about future events, including the conquest of Mecca, the spread of Islam, the victory of the Romans over the Persians, and many others. These predictions were all fulfilled, attesting to his prophethood. 7. Healing the sick and the injured. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, healed several people through prayers and touch. He healed the eyes of Ali bin Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, on the day of the Battle of Khaybar and cured many others. 8. Multiplication of food. On several occasions, a small amount of food was miraculously increased by the blessings of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to feed a large number of people. This happened during the Battle of the Trench and on other occasions. 9. The cloud shade. While traveling under the scorching sun, a cloud appeared and shaded the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, throughout the journey. 10. Protection from the enemy's plans. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was protected miraculously on many occasions. During his migration to Medina, he and Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, were concealed in the cave of Thor, and a spider spun its web at the entrance, deceiving the Quraysh who were pursuing them. These miracles, along with many others, serve as a testament to the truthfulness of Prophet Muhammad's, peace and blessings be upon him, mission and message, showing that he was indeed the final messenger of Allah.